Unlike using bash scripts, I can simply write Ansible scripts, the YAML files, what we generally call it as playbooks, for deployment purpose. So in this session we'll be installing Ansible and we'll be creating Ansible playbooks for deployment of Nginx. So there are things like the web page that we are having, like the static.html, that grocery page. That page is like, there may be changes in the future time when we need to change that page. Apart from this, there may be some deployment stuffs for Nginx, like we need to change the Nginx configuration file, the file that we created, devops.conf, and all these things. We can create one freestyle job for Nginx also. So in this session we'll be covering a freestyle job for installation for Nginx deployment. Let's go to the Jenkins server where we'll need to install Ansible. So we are in this EC2 console. Let's grab this public IP of Jenkins server. Well, it's already open. Let me do one thing. It's 212. Let me just relog in here. The username is Ubuntu. Let's switch to Jenkins user. Since we'll be installing Ansible using this Jenkins user, then we need to include the Jenkins user in the sudoers group. Let's get back to Ubuntu. You need to run this command sudo usermod -a g and the sudo, and the user is Jenkins. So here we have permanently added Jenkins to the sudoers group. Now Jenkins user can make use of sudo. Then I need to create one password for Jenkins user. So let's create password. Well, I need to use sudo for this. Just type the password, retype. Okay, so we have successfully set one password for Jenkins user. Let's switch to Jenkins. So here we need to install Ansible in this Jenkins server. Sudo apt install Ansible. Well, this will install only the basic version that is available in repository. Let's go to the Ansible official website, and there we'll download the PPA packages, and then we'll be going to install Ansible. Ansible installation guide. We'll look for this Ubuntu. Just copy all these commands one by one. Just enter the password. It's done. Just enter this PPA. It won't take much time, 10-15 seconds. Package installation, this is done. Let's go to install Ansible. So this will hardly take a minute. It's almost done now. So we're going to install this version 2.9.11. Let's check the version, version. So here we have all the things. Now the installation is completed. Well, here we need to create the Ansible scripts. Before creation of the Ansible scripts or the playbooks, we need to simply define one Ansible configuration file. We need to create an inventory. After that, we can go ahead for creation of playbooks. Let's create one directory here. Let's create it by the name Ansible_scripts. Here we'll be placing all the playbooks. Let's first create one ansible.config file, sudo nano ansible.cfg. Here I'll be defining the defaults like where I'm going to place the inventory. In simple terms, I can say the host file. Let me first give the inventory file path var lib/jenkins. I'm going to create inventory later, but I'm just defining this path, and it will be by name inventory. Okay, it's done. Let's save it. So here I have ansible.cfg. Here I'll be creating now inventory whose path I defined there in ansible.config. So for the inventory I need to define, I'm going for the application. So here goes the application name, and then I need the internal IP of the application server. So here's the internal IP, because we are going to create the playbook for Nginx deployment. Let me log in again. So just take the internal IP of this app server, because we are going to make playbooks for deployment on the app server, because our Nginx sits on the app server only. Just enter it. I need to give Ansible SSH username. This will be Jenkins, and I also need to give Ansible SSH password. That's it, Ansible SSH pass. This is this one in my case. Here, since we have already set up SSH copy ID mechanism where we need not to give key or something, but if it's a case like for Ansible playbook, we can give Ansible key file path here. So this is it, the application. Just to check something, I'll just add one control machine here, control, and this is the local host, and I'll define like Ansible connection equals to local. Well, that's fine. Just check by pinging all the servers in the host file ansible -m ping all. So we are getting one error. Well, the error seems like it's because of some host key checking taking place. Well, I've already set up SSH copy ID. Let's do one thing. For the Ansible to add this in a known host, let's do SSH on ourselves. Just copy this, enter the password. So here we have logged in. I guess now the situation should not come again. Let's do the same command, ansible -am ping all. This time you can see both the servers, this localhost and this application server is reachable. Since we are getting this warning, we can simply set deprecation warning equals to false in ansible.config. Let's do this. Just paste it over here, just save the file. You can see the warning should not come this time. Well, till here everything is fine. Now we need to create one Ansible playbook. Let's create one. Sudo nano, I'll say nginx deployment.yaml. So starting with 3 hyphens, I need to define the host. So I'll be going for the application, then giving the sudo privileges. That's it. Here I need to define the task. So the task will be very simple. It's like when the static.html page, when it's present on our Jenkins server, we need to copy that static.html page from a Jenkins server to the application server. So it's like copy and update static.html page. So here the module used will be the copy module. I need to define here the source. The source is not clear now. The destination is like I can define. If you remember, it's in /home/ubuntu/html on the app server. Let me show you in the app server as well. Just relog in here. If you can see, we have one directory, and that's where we were actually placing this HTML page. Okay, let me show you the directory path. It's /home ubuntu html. So this is what I'm giving here, /home/ubuntu/html. Okay, and the source we'll update it later. Let's update these things as well, like who will be the owner. Owner will be root, and the group will also be root. Then we are going for backup strategy. So suppose if the content is different, then backup will get created. Backup is yes, and that's fine. After this copy operation has ended, we need to restart Nginx. For that we'll be using service module, name is Nginx, and state equals to restarted. Well, that's fine. Let's check whether this playbook is working fine or not. The playbook name is this minus check. Well, we need to include the inventory here. That's it. Okay, so they are asking for sudo password. We need to pass some extra vars, and it's ansible become pass equals to, just give the password qwerty. Just remove this line from here. We'll be adding this check in the end so that we can check whether the configuration, the playbook that we have written is correct or not. Okay, so it's giving one error, that is source is not present. Yeah, the source is not actually present. Just cat the playbook. Okay, so we have left out the source. For that, just create one GitHub repository for the Nginx project. I'll say like new, I'll go for Nginx public repository, create the repository. We need to push the code to this Nginx repository. We'll go to the dev machine. It's the IP. I guess dev machine is also open. Just relog in here. So on the dev machine, I need to create that folder. I'll say like Nginx, just cd into it. I need to create that static.html which I'll be going to push. Just copy the static.html from this application machine, cat static.html. Just copy this content and we'll be pasting here. Just save the file. So here we have static.html. Just initialize git. Okay, just git add a. Just copy this command. Okay, just first do a first commit. That's done. Now we'll be adding the remote. This is also done. Now we'll be going to push it to the master branch. Just enter the username. Well, it's done now. We'll go to the repository and refresh the page. So the code is here now. We'll just copy it, just clone it in this directory where we are actually testing our code. Let's clone this repository, git clone. Okay, so we have this directory created and it has that static.html. So this path we need to provide in the playbook. cd ansible sudo nano, I'll say nginx deployment.yaml. Here I need to provide the path. Path is in /var /live /jenkins and /nginx, and where here I have this file static.html. Okay, I guess I've written the right path. Let me just go here, pwd var live jenkins nginx. Well, that's fine. So here I have actually set up. Let's rerun that ansible playbook command to check whether we have set up everything. Okay, we need to run this in this ansible scripts directory. So here the task 1, the task 2, yeah, so everything is fine and we have actually created an ansible playbook.